Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Meta Tuesdays here in Arena Underground. This week we are playing Mono Red Anax in Best of 1 Standard. As always, just a quick reminder, make sure to click that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. Is a way to support the channel for free. Before we go to the deck tech, just a quick update for the channel. We are going to be changing the schedule of our videos. Starting this week, the first video that you guys are gonna see is the Meta Tuesdays video, which obviously comes out on Tuesdays. We're gonna move best of 3 into Thursdays or Fridays. We're not quite sure yet, but it's gonna be towards the end of the week. And then off meta, which is usually off meta Thursdays that we were doing, it's gonna be maybe rotating out of the schedule. We're not sure if we're gonna maybe pause on that for a little while, or maybe just move it to a different day, maybe move it to Wednesdays, or we're trying to figure out what's the next thing for the channel, what you guys want to see. Off meta, I think it's great, but it also, it takes time. Maybe we want to put our time into other things. But in any case, just again, a change of schedule. Meta Tuesdays is going to stay the same. Best of 1 games coming out on Tuesdays, and then best of 3 are going to be moving towards the end of the week. All right. Anywho, let's talk about this deck. So, I think all of you guys already know Mono Red Anax. This is the new version of Mono Red, which is pretty similar to the old version, but we are playing 4 copies of Anax Hardened in the Forge. This card is great because of the token creation when it dies. And also, it's a 0/3 that has the power equal to your devotion of red. All right, in any case, this card has been great for the current meta because, especially with all the control decks going around, if they raft the board, you still get to keep quite a few tokens if you have enough devotion, and a lot of the times that just gets the final push to win the game. Other than that, we added a few other cards. Our version of Mono Red Anax, we decided to have 2 copies of Rimrock Knight as a spell with the +2 effect, instant spell, but it's also a 3/1 creature that you can put on the board. And then we kept 2 copies of Infuriate. A lot of these decks now have either 4 copies of Infuriate or 4 copies of Rimrock Knight. So we kind of split it into 2 and 2. These are just great options for defense and just surprising your opponent. And then we have our turn 1 package, which is 4 Fervent Champions, 4 Scorch Spitters. In this case, only 2 Tin Street Dodgers. But yes, we have 8 in total of 1/1s that come down on turn 1. These are very important for Mono Red. 4 copies of Shock, just extra removal spell and 2 extra damage that you can do later on. So what you're going to see in the videos is that we did try, in the first few games, we decided to take out the Runaway Stimkins and put instead 4 copies of Slaying Fire just to see what happened there. A lot of the issues are playing the mirror match, because whoever is on the play on the mirror match usually has the advantage. So if you, instead of having 4 Runaway Stimkins, you have 4 Slaying Fires, that a lot of times gives you the extra advantage and the extra push, even if you're on the draw. That said, I think the deck definitely works better with Runaway Stimkin. The reason being is, if you're not playing the mirror match, Runaway Stimkin, it's very, very good. But a lot of times you're playing the mirror match, you play your Runaway Stimkin on turn 2, and the opponent just shocks it, just, has some sort of removal on turn 2, turn 3. And then Runaway Stimkin didn't do anything and you kind of lost your turn 2. Regardless, so you're going to see maybe half of the games with Runaway Stimkin and then 3-4 games with Slaying Fire. Regardless, it's exactly the same deck. You have 2 copies of Torbrand. Again, Torbrand as a finisher is a great addition to Mono Red. And then we also have 4 copies of Embercleave. So not only we get Anax, and we get some cantrips with having an Infuriate and Rimrock Knight, but we also added 4 copies of Embercleave. I'm not quite sure who was the original maybe creator or the person who updated Mono Red, But anyway, this is a very cool version and way of playing mono red with this Embercleave just to get that extra push on turn 4 and win the game, you know? So we also have 3 copies of Robber of the Rich, just a hasty 2/2 that also steals cards from your opponents. Pretty good. And obviously, Light Up the Stage. I don't think this deck would exist at all without Light Up the Stage. This is why the deck is so good. And I think I'll leave you with that. Let's see. We have 18 Mountains, 3 copies of Castle Embereth. Castle Embereth, as I don't know if you guys have already experienced this, but Castle Embereth is a great card as well for mono red, because a lot of times you have maybe all the tokens left behind from Anax and maybe a couple of 1/1s, which are usually not enough to kill your opponent. But if you have a Castle Embereth and you have 4 other mountains in play, you just activate Castle Embereth +1 every 1/1 you have. It turns them into 2/2s. If you have 5 of these, you know, maybe a couple tokens, a couple of 1/1 creatures, you give it +1, you have 10 damage. You know, it's pretty great. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. You guys know this deck pretty well. You have all play around. I think we have about 8 games, so it's going to be really good for you guys to just see different games because these games are just so quick. When you win with mono red, you usually just win like right away. So it's going to be like 3-4 minute games. A couple of them are pretty cool, especially there's one against Rakdos Knights, which we thought we would potentially lose, and we kind of outplayed our opponent there. And then obviously a few mirror matches, which are good as well. And yeah, so we hope you guys enjoy the content, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Alright guys, we are playing mono red Anax in best of 1 standard. We go first, and this looks like a pretty good hand. We'll keep. We have our turn 1 plays. We have a Light Up the Stage into Torbrand. Seems like a nice curve. Start with Scorch Spitter here. See if our opponent is also playing mono red. This could be a mirror, but instead it's mono white. Alright, we need something to kill these annoying things here. Alright, we'll go ahead and try to find a light up. Trying to find a shock maybe for some of these creatures. Alright, opponent's gonna block our Scorch Spitter. That's fine. That's actually pretty good. And then we get to play another Scorch Spitter. Passes the turn. We might see a Daxos coming down here. Or Dun of Hope, sure. Well, the good news is we have another Fervent Champion to kick things off. Alright then, Light Up the Stage to find lands. Yes, this looks pretty good, guys. We'll play our Team Street Dodger. Go from there. Now next turn we could just play Torbrand, and that should be game. Our opponent may have some lifelink creatures here, but... Alright, so this is... Huh. It's pretty interesting here, like... Yeah, another Alcid, that's fine with us. We also have an Embercleave, so... Yeah, I think we just slam Torbrand and go for it. Alright, let's see which way our opponent goes here. Alright, they're going to stop the Scorch Spitter, and that's game. Good game, mono white. Alright guys, this is another game with mono red Anax. This hand's not great. If we don't draw the lands, then we get stuck with 3 cards that we can't really use. So I think we have to mulligan this. This is not amazing, but we'll try it. We have the lands, so if we draw into action, we might be able to pull it off. Though we are playing against mono red here. Alright, we'll go with the shock. We could have kept that for Runaway Stimkin, but that's fine. For our opponent... Alright, they just shock us for a light up the stage. So, seems like they're missing land drops, which they found. It's good for them. So we can now give them options if they want to use that lava coil or if they want to play something. We don't want to play a Runaway Stimkin into that lava coil, so that's fine. They can kill one of these two if they want to not do anything this turn. Yep, and they go for it. That's fine. Alright, they're gonna go for the shock. We are going to infuriate to save our Runaway Stimkin. Go in for the attack. Our opponent's most likely going to play Anax here or something like that. Yep. Yeah, Anax is 2-3. Sort of okay. We get to play our own Anax. Attack here with Runaway Stimkin. Alright. And then if our opponent found another land, we might see Torbran, which could be a problem for us. But we do have our Embercleave in the ready now. They sort of... Alright, they go for the light of the stage. So they're still missing the lands. Alright, let's see what they got here. They don't have anything. Alright, that's pretty good for us. We get to go in for the attack. Seems like they have something in hand, maybe. We don't really know what it could be, but... Alright, going to block the Runaway Stimkin. Sure. Alright, they create a bunch of tokens, but these tokens can block, so should be good. We're not going to play this light up the stage, because that means our Runaway Stimkin won't be as big as it is currently, so this can't block either, so I guess that should be game. Alright, they can shock the Fervent Champion. That's still not going to do it, so... Should see a concede here. Good game. Alright guys, we are playing Mono Red Anax in Best of 1 Standard. Unfortunately, we are on the draw. But having a sort of a curve here if we draw into our third land, so we'll keep this. Hope for the best. Let's see what we're playing up against. Alright, looks like Rakdos. Alright, we'll play our Fervent Champion here. Let's see if our opponent has a Shuck in hand. Seems like they do. Sure, that's fine. Opponent's down to 18 due to that Shuck land. Play an Order of the Midnight. So Order of the Midnight can't block. That's sort of good for us. Our opponent does not have a... Yep, that's a Register. That could be a problem, so... I think we will attack here and aim to kill that Register. with our Slaying Fire. Opponent just takes it, so that means we'll play Anax here. Get some tokens if our opponent attacks. Right, they discard a land. So they might have Embercleave in hand, but obviously decided to discard the land. So if they didn't draw another land, then they can't play Embercleave. Sort of good for us. Alright, they go all in. So we definitely have to block here. Get one token out of the deal, I think. It's not a great option, but it's better than nothing, right? And they just directly play Murderous Rider. Alright, cool opponent, very good. Opponent's down to 11. We'll play the Spitter here as a blocker for the Rotting Register. And that's another Rotting Register. Yep. It's a pretty good opponent. So we can kill this Regisaur with Slaying Fire and Shock. That said, that's not really great. So this is 6 points of damage, right? So if we make this a 2/2... Huh. Yeah, it's not really great, but... Six points of damage here that we have. We can stay in defense, kill one of the registers. Alright, I guess we don't have a choice here, guys. Just hope that we draw into something good. Take 9 here from our opponent. They go down to 8. That's another land. Alright, so we need a creature here. Anax is actually not bad at all. Opponent's down to 5. See what they find here. Just another land. Alright, and this should be game. Good game, Ragdos Knights. Alright guys, we are playing Mono Red Anax in Best of 1 Standard, which is what we see here. I'm not a huge fan of this hand, but I guess we'll have to find out if it's any good. We are on the draw, which is the main reason this hand's not ideal. Maybe on the play it's a little bit much better because we get to play Anax earlier than normal, right? And yep, mirror match, sure. Right, we'll go with the Spitter, see if our opponent wants to kill that. Alright, and we see a Runaway Stimkin. Sure. It's totally fine. get to attack here. Opponent goes down to 17. They're not... I don't think they're going to block. They could trade with a Scorch Spitter, but normally you don't trade Runaway Stimkin with the Spitter. Alright, so let's see if they have their own Anax in hand, or if they have something else. They might stay like in defense to use Infuriate as a cantrip to protect their Runaway Stimkin. Alright, they play Robber. That's good. They put us down to... Nice. Put us down to 16. Still Robber of the Rich. Alright, in this case... we get to kill this Runaway Stimkin. I mean, Robber of the Rich is, you know, it's a good card, but... Opponent's down to 14. See if they play Torbran here on turn 4. They might just go for Light of the Stage, play another Robber, something like along those lines. Opponent's playing very slowly. Alright, they go for an Unchained Berserker. Interesting that they're playing this main deck. You usually want to have this in the sideboard for a matchup against Mono White and Saurius and things like that. Alright, they kill our Fervent Champion. Not bad. It's not a bad play. They find an Embercleave. That is pretty good, I would say. Don't believe they want to trade here. We'll offer the trade for sure. Alright, we take it down to 12. We'll see how they attack here and then make a decision whether to block or not. I think we'll still block with Anax, get our tokens. Alright, they go for the Embercleave. I mean, that's not bad, right? It's a good play. Take 6 damage here. Alright. Opponent goes down to 8, same as us. Let's see what they do next. Embercleave is a legendary, so the good thing is we don't have to be afraid of an Embercleave, but... I guess if they have a way to kill Anax, or if they have Torbran in hand, it could be pretty good. They have 3 cards in hand, so... Alright, pretty cool. Now, let's see if this works. So we could potentially go down to... Could have an Infuriate in hand as well. Alright, yep, they have a shock, so... Puts us down to 1. Alright, let's see if we can win this. Castle Embereth. Go for it. Alright guys, we got there. It's pretty good. I think our opponent messed up there. I mean, they could have 2 other lands in hand, but I don't know. I don't know, it seems like a punt. Alright, we are on the play with mono red Anax, and yeah, we'll try this. Play Scorch Spitter. See what our opponent's doing. This is a blue Castle Vantress land tapped. Alright. Well, we get to attack and light up the stage here. Opponent goes down to 17. We're gonna light up the stage. We find just 2 lands. Hopefully draw into more action from the top of our deck. Okay. So this could be like Simic Flash or something. We are going to just attack. This could also be a Growth Spiral, but that's that. So we'll just see. That's a Quench, that's a Growth Spiral. Alright, it's pretty good. That means we have a chance here, guys. This could be like Temur Reclamation. And alright. If this might be a mountain into Storm. Yep. Alright, that at least leaves us a couple of tokens here. Alright, not bad. So that's 9 damage total. We'll go for that. Alright, opponent's down 2. They need 2 Wrath again here to survive. And then we just need some sort of burn spell to kill them. Don't believe that they own life gain, so yeah, that's game. Good game, Temur. Okay, this is mono red Anax and best of 1 standard. Definitely keeping this. We need more lands, but we have our light up the stage. Our favorite card draw card for mono red. I think this is the whole reason this deck's it's now being played again. It's because of light up the stage. I think we're just gonna attack and play this Rimrock Knight. I don't know what this deck could do on turn 2. So we have a Castle Embereth, so we don't need to light up the stage yet. Alright, very cool. So we go on the attack. Our opponent might have like a Brazen Borrower in hand to give us back our Rimrock Knight, which is fine with me. Because we can just use the instant Boulder Rush Adventure part of it. Alright, so we can play Anax, but opponent could have a counter. We don't know if they're playing Simic Flash. I think we keep these cards and just light up the stage. Let's see if they don't have a counter. That's good. So we get to Spitter here. Alright, pass the turn. That's a Growth Spiral, so that's cool. And they're playing Temur Reclamation, so this is not great. They could have like a Storm right now, but it's what it is. We keep a Rimrock Knight in hand as well as an Anax. Let's just dry it. And we have an Embercleave in hand, so that's not really gonna do it. I don't know what this deck is. I mean, is this some sort of enchantment deck? What are they playing? Would try it, like, I don't really know. Yeah, I'll just play the land. Go in on the attack here. See how our opponent blocks. Alright, they're gonna Scorch Spitter, so play Embercleave on Rimrock Knight. Yeah, so Rimrock Knight, this gives it +2, so it'll be a 6-1. +1 be a 7. Alright, so we can win the game that way. Yep. Embercleave for the win. And that's game. Good game, whatever this deck is. Alright guys, this is Mono Red Anax. We're on the play. We would have rather to have some more stuff other than Shock, but we're gonna have to keep this because we are on the play with a sort of good hand. 3 mountains and 4 spells. Hopefully this is not a mirror match. And it is. Seems like everyone is just playing Mono Red. And this is in Gingerbrute version. Okay. Well, good news is we do have Shocks. So we're not going to take that damage. Our opponent's down to 17. Let's see if they have Shocks. Alright, they play the Stim King, thinking that we don't have any more Shocks in hand. But unfortunately, we do. We could have attacked first, but I don't think they were going to trade that, so just take them down to 14. Go from there. So on turn 3, they could play their own Anax, and then we'll do the same next turn. Or they could just try to play some 1/1s, like Gingerbrute, short. 10th Street, yep. Go in for the attack. That is really interesting. I'm not sure. I guess, okay, they want to light up the stage. Yep, alright, cool. So they get the land that they need for like a Torbran or something. We get to... has more cards in hand than you, so they're not going to have more cards now. So we'll just play Anax here. Go in for the attack. Opponent goes down to 11. Let's see what they have. So they now have they can Embercleave. It's not really, yeah, like it's not that great on these 1/1 creatures. It's just sort of fine. Alright, they decide to make this unblockable. So they're not playing Embercleave. Okay. So they're aiming to block next turn, but we do have a Torbran. If we drew the land, of course. Alright, they got 2 Cavalcades. That's nice. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But we get to Torbran here, so... this is looking pretty pathetic here for our opponent. We're gonna go in. They can kill their Scorch Spitter if they want. Yeah, they go down to 8. You have to block here. Otherwise they die. So Gingerbrute goes on Anax. Kill the Scorch Spitter. Sure. Alright, go down to 5. We get a token out of the deal here with Anax. Sure. Pass the turn, and let's see if they have it. They can't attack, so they have to go on defense. Play their own Torbran. Sure. But we have an Embercleave, so... yeah, so we can play a Robber as well. Go on the attack. Let's see how they block. Alright, good game. Alright guys, this is Mono Red Anax, and this hand is fine because we can play everything with the current amount of mountains, but we need more action or we're gonna be in trouble here. Because these Scorch Spitters don't really stay too long on the battlefield. Alright. That's a little better. Stimking could help. Attack for 2 here with our Scorch Spitter. Opponent's down to 18. Alright, so this is some sort of Sultai deck. And they have a Tyrant Scorn. Sure. It's usually what happens to Runaway Stimkin. Attack for 2. Opponent's down to 16. We'll leave the shocks available in case our opponent plays something else. Yeah, Lifkin Druid is not exactly what we wanted to kill with shock, but sure. Alright, we don't really want him to ramp, so we'll just attack here. Alright, they're gonna take it. So in that case, we'll play Anax. See where this leads us. This could be a Nissa coming down. Or a Risen Reef, sure. They did not find the land that it seems they needed, or they had one in hand. It's interesting that they went for that play. So we could just play Embercleave here. Yeah, I think we just attack with everything, play Embercleave, see where that takes us. They do have enough mana here to like bounce something, so let's see what they decide to bounce. They go down on 10 with their Scorch Spitters. Alright, they're going to aim to kill a Spitter. Lifkin Druid. Alright, they go for this Cry. We could have just Embercleave there, but I don't know. I think we just get more value from this play here. Opponent goes down to 8. And we even have a shock at the ready here. It's like if they play Nissa, they still don't win. Okay, they play Dryad. I don't know what that's gonna do. They could play another land and, you know, use a Tyrant's Scorn to kill one of our creatures, but we're still in a really bad position here, I think. If they target Anax, we get a bunch of tokens. So alright. They get maybe a green source or another black source, sure. It's another Omen of the Sea, alright. So I think they're giving up here. I mean, they're hoping to survive till next turn, but I don't really see that happening, so... Okay, they get a creature to gain 3 life, sure. We'll kill that. Alright. Go down to 9. See how they block here. Alright, they block Anax with the Dryad, so obviously we're gonna Embercleave. And that's game. That was all for today. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and click the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Have a good one.